Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and The Flash, issue number 49. I'm going to have some very bad things to say about this comic book, but let's get the good stuff out the way first. A whole bunch of really good stuff happens here. First off, the art, Howard Porter. Guy is absolutely amazing. Amazing in this issue, man. Dude, I can't think offhand of somebody who's drawn fantastically beautiful characters all around, like even just side characters just kind of hanging out and going, what's going on, main characters? I'm just a walk-on. These guys are all drawn so well. And on top of that, there's more lightning in this issue and more powers being used in this issue than most comic books I think I've ever seen. So just all in all, absolutely amazing. Who's this? Hi-Fi doing the colors? Wow. Wow. Just wow. You know what I'm saying? Joshua Williamson is is writing a really, really good backstory here. For all intents and purposes, pretty interesting, but I don't know. I'm wondering about continuity in here also because they do have the Flash, they do have Hawkman in here saying, in all of my lives, on Earth that is, I've never seen winds like this before. It's like, oh, cool, he's using current continuity. Then they also show that Highfather is still alive, and I guess that's supposed to be Light Ray. It's like, Highfather's dead, man. Highfather's dead, what's going on? So, maybe they know, maybe Joshua Williamson knows something that I don't. Yeah, when it comes to comic books currently being written, yeah, I believe that. For all intents and purposes, though, not too shabby. And then there's even a part here where Superman... Now, listen, maybe one of you guys have read something that I haven't read. It's a possibility, duh. But every time that I've ever seen a race between Superman and the Flash, any of the Flashes, it's always been one of those cases where, oh, they're neck and neck. Maybe Supes will win. Maybe the Flash will win. Doesn't matter. Hey, Supes is a speedster. He just doesn't use the speed force, which means he shouldn't be anywhere near as fast as them when he's running. And when Jeff Johns came onto the comic book, he showed that. It was a very definitive, you have never been as fast as us. If Barry let you beat him, it's because he was being nice. He was holding back. I won't. Boom! And Superman's literally like, oh my god. But when Superman flies, he's usually just as fast or faster than the Flash, right? Not here. Not here. Joshua Williamson does something that I've been hoping that people would do for Superman, for the Flashes for a very long time, and that is that Superman was soundly defeated while he was flying. The Flashes bolted past him. Now, there may also be a part in here where they're showing that Wally is faster than Barry. It may also just be that Wally was more single-minded, determined to break the Speed Force. Meanwhile, Barry was actually holding back, so therefore he was feeling the pain. He's like, I can't keep up. It hurts too much. So it's hard to tell exactly where, and I like that that was left innocuous. But now into the actual, not the resolution, but the climax of the story itself. Come on, man. If you didn't see this coming, I don't know what to say. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, no, this is so obvious that this is going to happen that Joshua Williamson is never going to allow this to happen. Zoom would have to be a good guy here, right? Or maybe he's being played by a higher force. That could be a really cool story arc. It's like, no, Zoom actually was a good guy. Hunter Zolomon was actually a good guy in this one. He really was trying to save his Barry's family. You know what I'm saying? Wally's kids. You know, but no. It turns out that there was actually a main bad guy behind all of this that, oh, surprise. No, unfortunately, that's not the case. Because how cool would that have been if it was actually Reverse Flash, the full, true Reverse Flash? You know what I'm saying? If that were the case, and he were screwing around and manipulating Zoom, then you'd have a Reverse Flash war. Now, how sick would that have been? Nope, sorry, that's gone. No, you're gonna have to wait until I start, until I get hired by DC Comics to write that story. Because, yeah, no, instead, Zoom really was the bad guy. Wally and Barry are the dumbest freaking people. Once again, literally, the dumbest people in comic books because somebody's going to wind up believing the bad guy because they don't know anything about the Speed Force. All of these guys, including in this issue, all these guys forever have been talking about, I'm from the future and I know what's going on, and the history books say. Remember, I say it all the time. that when you're writing, this is the stuff that you learn when you take creative writing classes and things like this. When you're writing, you have to be very careful. The hero can't know a lot more than the characters, than the people reading the book. Because if he does, then it seems like the readers start to feel like they're stupid. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to be careful with Batman, because Batman knows everything, right? You've got to kind of learn right after he does why this is happening and who the main bad guy is and what their ulterior motive is and all that stuff, because if you don't, then everybody starts feeling like, yo, Batman's just too powerful and it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? The Mr. Miracle books, how do you always get out of all those traps? It was explained immediately after he got out, you know? But then there's also the possibility that you go the opposite way, the way that this comic book went, that the heroes are so effing stupid that we, the readers, are sitting there going, yeah, duh, guys, duh, this is what's going to happen next. And then when it actually does happen, you're just thinking these heroes are too stupid to be worthy of the power that they have. Why am I sitting here siding with the Reverse Flashes at this point? No, I don't really, not really, because they're bad guys. They want to kill people, including the Flashes. That's not what I want in life. But these are the guys who actually know what the heck is going on. So you start thinking they must be right, because at least they know what's going on. And the Flashes, Barry and Wally, they're always working from the past. Listen, maybe I'm just really destroying the entire Flash ethos here, but if I had the Speed Force and I kept on facing a bad guy from the 25th century who showed up and says, in the history books, this and this happened, so I'm saving you from this, I'd be like, okay, as soon as I'm finished beating this guy, I'm going to the future, okay? I'm going to sit down, I'm going to start reading these history books so I can find out what the F is going on. I might go even further into the future and, like the 50th century and see what's happening there, man, because this is curiouser and curiouser. I'm just saying. But no, these guys are the dumbest people in the world, because nobody considers going to the future and actually asking, what happens to us in the future? What did we screw up in the future? How are we not really heroes in the future? I get it, that's kind of the allure of what the Flash people are, all of the Flashes, but this has been dragged on for way too long now. These are the dumbest characters in comic books. Not really, not in my head, but reading these comic books right now, reading a lot of these runs. The Flashes are the dumbest characters in comic books. If you don't know something, learn it, especially if it's crucial to your future. Just saying. So, yeah, it's not that hard for me, all right? I didn't know how to put videos up on YouTube. I had to learn how to do that. I didn't learn how to edit videos. I had to learn how to do that. I didn't know how to use any editing software. I had to research which was the best one, which is the one that's most likely going to be easiest for me to and suit my purposes the best. I don't use the same video editing software as most of the people who I know who do YouTube videos. I use a very different one because I use a very different editing technique. So I figured this one will actually be the best for me. I also got a discount on it. Not the point. The point is, I had to learn how to use all this stuff. And sometimes I would do YouTube videos to research. Sometimes I would sit there and I would look in the so-called user manual by looking at the help section that the web page that the software provides on the web. It's just one of those things, man. You have to learn what's up. And I'm so sick and effing tired of a billion Reverse Flashes, and they're all infinitely smarter than the heroes of the comic book. Barry Allen and Wally West are stupid. And I don't want them to be stupid. I'm going to read the finale of the Flash War, which is issue number 50, the next one coming up. And if that one does, look, I can't just be satisfied. I can't just be sated. If that issue doesn't blow me away, I'm done with this comic book. And because this right here, this feeling, I don't want to feel that nonsense. I don't want to hate characters I've loved since I was a kid. One of the earliest comic books I remember getting was that issue where Zoom is running forward to try and, kill Iris. And Wally comes up behind him and just and chokes him out and kills him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh crap, I just killed somebody. And that stuck with him forever. And I was like, wow, I'm only like, you know, in preschool? No, I was in kindergarten. I was in kindergarten at the time. But man, I was like, this is, wow, I can't let my parents find out about this because, wow, they'll take these comic books away from me. This is my dirty little secret. DC Comics was a lot more mature in that regard back then. At least in my young eyes. I remember how amazing I had the first issue in that arc and the second, the final issue. There was only a 2-issue arc. And I remember like, oh my God, this is amazing. The Flash is an amazing story. And I kept on reading as I got older. And now I'm just, like, for me to sit here and say, I don't want to read The Flash anymore, something needs to be done, guys. Something needs to be done. The Flashes are just as ignorant of what the heck the power is that they hold. So when Superman sits there and says, I studied everything there is to know about Kryptonian history, and that's in the past, that's a destroyed planet, there's nothing left of Kryptonian history except what you've got in your little archive crystals, you know what I'm saying? And yet he studied everything there is to know, that he learned a dead martial art from a Skrull. Yo, Superman is a freaking ninja master learning martial arts from Skrulls. Shaolin monks can't do that to this day. They still got people who could show them how to use the martial arts. He learned a martial art, a physical martial art, from Skrulls, from a crystal. Like, dude. And he learned a mental martial art also. Dude, Superman is awesome. The Flashes are idiots. My Flashes aren't idiots. I'm tired of this nonsense. I'm tired of this nonsense. This is the penultimate issue of the arc. It's the penultimate issue of Professor Bill's arc reading the Flash comic books. That infuriates me. That should never, ever, ever happen. Extremely disappointed in this comic book just because I'm so tired of that same nonsense happening. I need for issue number 50 to be like, guys, we're like Barry. Yes, Wally, we're really stupid. We need to go into the future and read this stuff and maybe take a little hiatus just so that we could read up what the heck's going on in the future because these reverse flashes keep coming back, kicking our sorry butts. We're getting by on pure luck and we're still not trying to learn what's up with our powers. All of a sudden, there's a sage force and a strength force and a kiss my butt force. Dude, what's going on here? What's going on here? And me asking that is exactly what the Flashes should be asking, but they're too stupid to ask that question. I'm done with this kind. I want to know what happens in the end. Number 50, it's a seminal issue, all right? It's a just But I'm really done with reading heroes who are too stupid to go into the future since they can and actually learn what the heck is going on. It was also kind of cool that Reverse Flash, that Zoom went and killed all the Justice League members. That was interesting too. A lot of good stuff that happened in this comic book. But the glaring problem with the comic book is literally like staring into the sun. Like that. Long video for The Flash. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.